Hi. So I made a dress. I am a huge fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Love Never Dies, and an especially huge fan of a specific dress. This dress. It features in 5 songs in the musical. It is the dress that is in the promo pictures. It is one of the most popular dresses, second probably to the peacock dress, the blue one that you see at the end. I am in love with this white dress, and I thought I would set myself a challenge to make my own version of it, which I did. So I started by mocking up the bodice using a pattern for a waist, a shirt waist from the Keystone Jacket and Dress Cutter, which is from around the right era, to be period accurate. And I did have to make some alterations. I had to increase the back a bit and bring down the neck a bit and open up the armholes because the arms on that are tiny, and I have not got tiny arms, so I had to make a bigger set. And then this skirt I used from an evening dress pattern that I found at an op shop. So the process of making this was quite easy. I cut some base fabric in some just like off-white cotton type fabric, and then I got this nice lace fabric in white, because if you look at actual photos of the dress, like this one, you can see that there is a change. The lace is white and the base color is off-white. This is Zoe. This is my dog Zoe. She's very cute and she's very helpful with the sewing process. She likes to come and sit next to me when I'm sewing. So yeah, she can sit here and talk to me as well. So yeah, I also noticed on the dress that you don't see the specific seam of the lace between the base fabric. So what I did was I French seamed both layers together.
Hi, it's me again. Just coming in to say and explain what a French seam is. So this is a French seam. What you do is you sew it with the wrong sides together, trim the seam allowance, fold it over, and then sew it again with the right sides together, and you kind of encase the raw seam within the seam, and it gives it a nice finish, as you can see. And then I also just hand felled the lace edging to the fabric, and then machine stitched it. It's still, the machine stitching won't show up because you won't see this, it's under this layer of lace. But yeah, I machine stitched the seam down to stop the fraying, and just kind of skipped over the French seam because it's really hard, and it adds some nice volume to the skirt, as you see there. So yeah, French seam, hand felling, essentially a tiny whip stitch. And yeah, I had to wash this fabric, this lace, before sewing it so that it was white. And then here is just some simple tacking stitches and some back stitching just to keep it connected. But this is also French seamed. The armholes are not, as I mentioned, but I will French seam it next time. And the waist seam, which is in here, is not French seamed either because I didn't want to, but I will for the next one as well.
It's actually really difficult when you get stretchy lace, so that was a mistake. And I'll keep that in mind for the next project I make with lace, is to not get stretchy lace. For some reason the lace ended up longer for the skirt panels. I don't know how that happened, considering I used the skirt panel to cut the lace panel. So I have no idea how that happened. And then when I stitched it together, they didn't end up even. So I'm just leaving them unfinished because it looks nice. For the sleeves, I also French seamed. Most of this is French seamed except for the waist seam and the zipper seam. And the armhole seam. I hand stitched this lace edging to the sleeves. I also put some lace edging onto the bottom of the off-white layer, which you can't really see on camera, but it just adds some structure to the skirt and how it falls. I initially used a walking skirt pattern from the Keystone Jacket and Dress Cutter, but realized that it had too many panels and therefore was too full, so the shape wasn't right. And then I found this evening dress pattern and realized this is the right skirt. It's got 5 panels instead of 7 and no pleats in the back, which I realized upon looking at some photos that the white dress doesn't have any pleats in the back, it is smooth in the back. I made this a slightly more modern dress, I guess you could say. I made the skirt 60 centimeters just so that I could have it sit smooth and make it easier to walk around in. It's a nice like sundress type thing now. Specifically sundress because these sleeves do not actually produce any warmth because they are just lace. Lace along the neckline like you see in the original dress, which is really tricky when you have straight lace. I'd never realized the lace would be so straight. So it doesn't quite sit properly. The zipper in the back is slightly crooked, I know. I'm not very good at putting zippers in, but yeah, got that. The back ended up having too much give in it, so I had to take the back in a bit to match the seam of the skirt. So that's a thing. But overall, I'm very proud of this dress. Very happy with how it turned out. Any changes I might make would be to not make the bodice and skirt sit together on the zipper because it just is really tricky to put together, and then I have to hand stitch the bodice down onto the skirt. It's just too complicated, so I will next time make the skirt and the bodice separately. Bodice, maybe do it up with hooks maybe, or press darts. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. And the skirt definitely would not use a stretchy fabric so that my lace is the same length and shape as the skirt fabric. On that note of changes I would make, I am planning to make a black version of this dress. I have all of the items. Come closer now. Yeah, so I've got this nice trimming lace for the sleeves, which I think will be very pretty. I found this for the neckline, if you can see it. Yep. This one for the trimming, some nice like eyelet type. Just got simple black cotton for the base and some paisley type lace for the lace layer outside it. And this one doesn't stretch, so that's good. Yeah, so, and I'll definitely make it separately to the how I made the white dress, so the bodice and the skirt will be separate. Yeah, so we'll do that, and that'll be fun, and I will keep you posted on the status of that on my Ko-fi. So if you want to follow me on Ko-fi, you can click the link up there or the link in the description. If you like what you see, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I don't know if you get the bell for new YouTubers. Not sure that's a thing. I'll have to look that up. Like the video. If you want to see me anywhere else, my social media things are all down there. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun making this gothic looking black dress, and keep everyone posted on my Ko-fi and things. So yeah, that's about it. And this was a short video, but how much do you have to take someone through the process of making something, you know? Dress was just made the simple way that you would make a dress, and so yeah, yeah, that's about it, and see you next month.